the verdict in the George Floyd case. So they are tuning into the various news media. Them said the jury them reach an anonymous decision and pretty much a quick decision too. So we there here I wait for hear how the verdict go. My prediction is that them will find him guilty on maximum charge, man, because here what no. The entire world are watching now. And America can't mess up this time again, you know. Remember they said how the president called George Floyd family if he said the evidence was overwhelming and him they are hope say them do the right thing. And normally when you have a case of murder and you find say the jury of them reach an unanimous decision where then now if you deliberate or them are two say yo or one man or say whatever. That means that everybody side and I say one thing. You see me? Remember saying you know, them could have said, well, I'm guilty upon this but maybe upon a lesser degree or somebody has said, well, I'm not guilty upon murder but maybe him guilty of manslaughter. Then you know you find the jury them kind of agree and disagree at the same time. So you don't know say let's say I 11 of them, maybe 5 I said this or 4 I said this, and the rest I must I said the next thing. But that another case, it means if I 11 of them I said the one thing. You see me? And once you see the judge now have to go back to them and say, here what happened? You know, go back to the drawing board, see if you can come up and agree again. So you don't know say a maximum I get man. Me make you know say a maximum. And you know them have to do it for TV too, you know, them not really want to we already know say our color at a disadvantage already. So I don't know it can't push forward no more. You see me I say them can't make it seem too unbalanced more than it is already. You see me I say so. Them have to go just find him guilty. Him have to go be the one police officer we have to go just you know them when I say take one for the team. Yeah man, cause anything else outside of that man, it a go cause bigger riot and fires and burn down it all come like the LA riots. Them no want destruction in America so know this a one man you see me? And please the people them. That's my prediction. But they are tuning into the various news media. One year who I gonna break the news first.
There in Minneapolis. Our thanks to Lindsay Davis, and we'll be checking back in with you over the course of
Mm-hmm.
this afternoon. These are live pictures on the ground there in South Minneapolis.
Yeah man, whole of people up on the ground.
Relative calm, as you can see in this community and in so many communities across
Yeah
this
man, if
country.
you want to see what I'm going.
Their smartphones have heard that there is a verdict. The judge revealing that and saying that the verdict will be delivered in about an hour. That was a little more
So
than
they
an hour
must say,
ago. So we are expecting that jury at any time. And Lindsay talking
I
about
expect the verdict, man.
of the members of that jury. And
I mean, the entire world tuning in. You know. Remember last year, almost them time here, not little under year, you see me? I would believe when the case take place, man. Right about everywhere. You see me in America, in Europe, in Canada, everywhere. Even Jamaica, them a march. So you must know, say, is a thing where felt all over the world. As me I say, it's not a little thing that is community based or just one little region or whatever is affected. Something we broadcast on the media all over and it impact so many people. So let's see how the jury them are gonna respond. But don't tell no say you might get the maximum charges them. The murder charge or connect and also well murder charge connect then the manslaughter not really matter. You see me I say so yeah man, but they are go and wait for the news.
you're so right, David. That's why this moment is so different from other moments in American history, where we've seen instances where Black America went one direction and white America seemed to go someplace else. In this particular moment, this case, the reaction seemed to be universal. The people of all stripes reacted in a very passionate way to the death of George Floyd. And David, I'm struck by something that you said earlier, that this is a deep breath moment for our nation. I think you're absolutely right. You think about these kinds of trials. I was looking at the that trial, the 4 police officers in Los Angeles in 1992, the O.J. Simpson trial in 1995. This day is one of those moments where many Americans will hold their breath to see what happens. And David, I think in many ways we may have two verdicts today. We will have the verdict of this jury, this diverse jury, and in the hours and days to come, we will have the verdict of the American people. One can imagine that however it goes, a portion of America will see that justice was served. A portion of America will say that justice missed its mark. And I think while we wait for this verdict, it'll also be curious to see, and I think that's why we see the law enforcement presence in Minneapolis and other major cities across this nation, as we all, David, as you said, hold our breath waiting for this verdict. Of course, Byron, no one wants to get ahead of themselves as far as this verdict is concerned. We do know that the relatively short amount of time and the weight of this case, as we heard from Sonny Hawson earlier.
Yes, people there wait for the verdict.
And fairly early on.
I know I have something for go up on the road too.
A jury that was sequestered immediately after those closing arguments, immediately after getting instructions from the judge who asked them not to bring their bias into that decision making, but also not to worry or be concerned with how the country and the world would react to their decision. After all, the live stream showed the rest of us what transpired in that courtroom, with the exception of the jurors themselves. We all got to watch them.
Yes, people there wait, we still await, still await.
The folks who will actually make this decision, who were there from day one during this trial. I want to bring in Terry Austin from Law and Crime, the network that covers this. She's been covering this case, obviously, for the better part of the year. And Terry, I wanted to remind people at home, as we await this decision from the jury, what the prosecution was up against here. They had to convince beyond reasonable doubt that Derek Chauvin's actions, his knee to the neck, was a substantial cause.
Yes, we still await on the verdict, yes, master. And likewise, the rest of America, likewise the rest of the world, waiting on the verdict. I hope them not keep us much longer, you know. It's me. Yeah, man, we wait to hear from the families. I two side too, man. I like to hear from the families of the police officer. I love to hear from the family of George Floyd, same way. Just to hear their take, you know, or them response. I mean, we understand how George Floyd family would respond, but I love to know what Derek Chauvin family has said about this whole thing too.
Use the 46th witness on the stand, which is your common sense. If you believe that, in fact, what you saw on this video was unreasonable force and that the knee on the back and the neck caused the death, then you have to come back with the guilty verdict. And I do believe that's exactly what they did.
But we'll wait and see for that, because we also know that the defense spent 3 hours yesterday in its closing argument, from defense attorney Nelson, to try to sow doubt among that jury, continuing with what he had done over the course of the trial, bringing up past drug use of George Floyd, his heart condition, asking was there the potential of any carbon monoxide from that patrol car? Did bystanders distract Derek Chauvin while he was right there at that scene with his knee to George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes, 29 seconds? And the defense attorney trying to make the case that this particular trial is about more than those 9 minutes, that the jurors, when they deliberate, should be thinking about, as he said, the 60 minutes that came before, what Chauvin came upon when he arrived at that scene. He tried to use images of them putting George Floyd into the patrol car, 3 officers trying to do that to no avail, to try to make the case that those were all factors that Derek Chauvin took into account in those 9 minutes. Of course, then the rebuttal from the prosecution, making the point that over the course of those 9 minutes, he certainly had time to react to what he was presiding over during those 9 minutes. and direct reaction to carbon monoxide suggestion, saying if that were in fact the case, that the carbon monoxide was coming from the police patrol car, so he should have been aware of that too. So we saw a back and forth between the prosecution.
Yes, peeps, as we wait, so in a further upload, you don't know where I gonna say a verdict is out, and this is our reaction, and this is how America is reacting, and this is how the world is reacting. So stay tuned for the next video. It's me, I say, I know YouTube has send me one update. I say, remember, blah blah blah. Anyways, like, share, comment, subscribe. In the next upload, we are going to react to how America react to the verdict. Until next time, you don't know. So, boy.